All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. And let's go, baby. We are pumping today. We are seeing the altcoins pop off, and it is time. It is time for Bitcoin to continue ranging while the alts take their turn, and we are going to get some price action. We're going to go through a lot of altcoins today. We're going to go through some updates on Bitcoin, the total market cap, Bitcoin dominance. We'll get to as many altcoins as we can. Welcome in, everybody. Let me know. Can you guys hear me okay? And just welcome in. Welcome in, Archie False Prophet. What is up, man? Welcome in. Welcome in, Brian, Andrew, Johnny, Grotto EZ, Archie preparing for war, Mikey, Anna, Nonsense, Cajuice. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining. Johnny, thank you so much for the super chat. We will cover HBAR for sure. And guys, so let's just get started because we've got a lot to cover today. Some very exciting stuff happening here in the markets. And before I get started, guys, I just want to say that False Prophet is the creator of Nami. And I know, Brian, I think it was you that telegrammed me about that. So if you have any questions, go onto that website and click in that lower box. There's a chat bot. You can get a hold of him there. But great indicator here. Love it. And it's really been helping me with my entry and exit confirmations. So just wanted to let you know that's how you can get a hold of him. Did reach out to him for you. So welcome in, guys. Bitcoin is continuing its range. And you see, we are holding a key point of control of the range. After seeing that little bit of a push up yesterday, really Sunday night, and yesterday, we had a bit of a drop on the aggregated open interest. I covered this in yesterday's video, but on the aggregated open interest, this push up that we saw Sunday was actually a very, very healthy push up as far as aggregated open interest goes. Now, the aggregated open interest takes the average open interest of all the major exchanges, and you can see here that that push up that we saw was a majority of a healthy move push to the upside. CVD increasing throughout the move. That means market longs are coming in, and we know they were fresh market longs, a majority of them, because our aggregated open interest was increasing. And then yesterday, we saw a bit of a long squeeze, just dropping back down, taking out some of those really late longers. You can see right up in this area here, we had a lot of late longers that were longing the top, longing a potential breakout of our range up here, right up into this pitchfork resistance. We hit up into two major pitchfork resistances. And so yesterday's drop was just a bit of a squeeze to squeeze out some of the late longers. And we are holding local support, attempting to break out of this range. Now, today, if we can close this daily candle above this value area high, it does provide likely signals for continuation for Bitcoin. And I covered this in yesterday's video, but because we did hit that 886, so if we take a Fibonacci pull from the highs of the range, which is the all-time high in this case, to the lows of the range, which is where we bounced from our pitchfork band of support, and we turn on that 886, we did tap into that 886, and I will change that color so you guys can see that a little bit better. But we did tap into that 886, making it far more probable now that we will take out the all-time highs before seeing a breakdown of this overall range and dumping to further targets. So bullish expectations for me. Overall, Bitcoin's looking pretty strong here. If we zoom out onto the 4-hour chart, I just want to show you guys this on the 4-hour chart. Attempting to break out of the value area high today after bouncing from POC. Money flow on Market Cipher B looks very strong, and Nami printed this hidden bullish div signal on the 4-hour chart. And these hidden bull signals are no joke. Look at the last time we printed a hidden bull div signal. We got a little bit of a drop, printed that hidden bull div signal, and then we saw a major breakout or attempt of a breakout. So I do think something like this is very much likely could be happening again. We could see continuation and pushing up. Now, I will say this. We are at two major resistances. If we look at our major pitchfork, so this pitchfork is pulled on this impulse. If we zoom out onto the daily chart here, it is just going to be from our 74K lows all the way up to our first all-time high back in May. And then it goes down to our 98.2K lows, our correction lows, that three-wave zigzag correction that we saw coming down. And so this is a very, very local pitchfork, but this pitchfork has been highly respected. If we now zoom back in onto the 4-hour chart, you can see here, and let me go ahead and clean this chart up a bit. Actually, I got to turn off some of these levels. I am sorry, guys. Let me just turn off some of these levels. If we look here, and let's just hide this range for a second. we rejected from the upper band. We came up to that 1.618, and this was why we were expecting continuation up from this area. Now, our double 1-2 impulse was invalidated. If we just pull this trend-based Fibonacci extinction here, we turn on our 1.618, and we put that, yeah, based off, let's see here, boom. Why is that not? Oh, well, that would help. We did hit up into that 1.618, almost perfect to the dollar, rejecting from that 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. But because we dropped a little bit further than we were expecting, we hit that 113.6K golden pocket, invalidating the double 1-2 impulse to the upside. This is a 1-2, 1-2, a big third wave, and then we wanted to see 4-5, 4-5 in continuation. But overall, we still are just ranging within this range that we've been in for about a month now, and we could see a bigger flat correction come in here, a complex correction come in here before continuation to the upside. So I was, after invalidating this 1.618 double 1-2 impulse, we were just expecting more of a complex correction in here, meaning that Bitcoin was going to range a bit longer. Because of that, we were really paying attention to that Bitcoin dominance, and we were looking at Bitcoin dominance to see, was Bitcoin dominance going to see a breakdown out of the pretty much 3-year long channel that we had been in, the ascending channel. So if we zoom out, I'm going to just go on to the 2-day chart here. And we have, since March of 2023, we have been inside this rising channel or ascending channel. It has been our trend for most of the bull market. Bitcoin has dominated. Once we finally saw that break of market structure on the daily time frame, we were looking for a bearish retest or for the bottom of the channel to hold and a pump back up to that 786 point of control channel midline, or a breakdown of this channel and for alt season to really kick off, because we already had very, very locally. Now, if we zoom in on the 4-hour chart, we already had the attempt to break back inside of the channel. After breaking it down, we back tested those prior lows, and if we could not get above those prior lows, then we were probably going to see this channel break to the downside, and we were going to see continuation and follow through on Bitcoin dominance dropping and allowing the alts to kind of have their turn. Now, if we look at this Bitcoin dominance chart, money flow is still leaving aggressively out of the asset. We printed a hidden bear div signal on NAMI here, and we are breaking down past our prior lows. We are not seeing that SFP, that swing failure pattern of the prior lows. And I do think Bitcoin dominance is going to continue breaking down at least to like this 59% area where we do have our golden pocket. This is going to allow the alts to really pump and kick in the next few days to few weeks here. And this is a great opportunity where we can shift our attention from Bitcoin when it is just ranging. Of course, you can always pay attention to Bitcoin and trade Bitcoin. But if you really want to, this is the kind of the last leg of the bull market where if you shift your attention to some of these altcoins, you can really get good gains on these altcoins. I've been posting some of these setups in the Telegram groups. We really have had a great couple weeks in the Telegram. Sei, Sui, Link, Ethereum. So we'll cover all the major altcoins. We'll cover HBAR. We'll cover everything we can get to today. First, I just want to real quickly go into our total market cap charts. And first off, I actually want to go into our total 2 market cap chart. So this is the entire market cap that excludes Bitcoin. This one includes Ethereum. And we have been in our 2025 range. We broke out of that range. You can see we even came back for sort of a back test, even though that back test was a little bit front ran there. Back testing that range, seeing a breakout with volume. We came up to that 1-to-1 target. Now, here's the thing, guys. If this is going to be, after seeing a multi-month drop to the downside, if you see a 3-wave corrective move up to that 1-to-1 target and you start to fall back inside your volume profile, that means that this was probably a corrective ABC correction here before continuing to maybe even drop all the way back down to the bottom of our range for 2025. But in a bullish scenario, we were going to see maybe a small rejection from here, hold that value area high, now flip it to support. What can used to be considered overvalued for the crypto market, altcoin market really, is now considered undervalued and considered support. And now we are breaking up, continuing to break out here. We are still in our zone of a correction. The zone is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. So there is a potential that we could reject here, especially we do need to watch out for like an SFP of the highs. If we SFP these highs here into that like 1.236 or just SFP these highs and start to lose our 1-to-1 correction area at 1.55 trillion, then it could get a little bit bearish here. But in a bullish continuation, which all indications for me right now are is alt season is about to kick off. We are seeing dominance finally break and drop after years and years of seeing a trend. And we can expect the total market cap to pump maybe up to this 1.618 to $2 trillion for the total two market cap. And that would provide that bigger, one, two, and then inside your third wave, you're going to look to come up to at least this area, see a fourth wave retrace, maybe back testing our prior highs as support, and then see one last leg in a fit five. Now, within this third wave, we do want to see five waves when it's within itself. So the third wave could still be in process here, and this is on the daily time frame, so this will take time to play out. But everything is looking pretty good here. Lucifer, the Telegram link is in the descriptions. And real quick, guys, while we're on the subject of the Telegram, I have partnered with BYDFI. They are a VPN free and KYC free exchange. If you do sign up using my affiliate link with BYDFI and you deposit $100, first off, you'll get a 50% deposit bonus just for signing up. That's way more than most people do for a $100 deposit bonus. You get 17% discounts on your trading fees, but you can also get access to a Telegram group that I've created that's completely free. All you need to do is sign up using the affiliate link and deposit the $100. And I do post trade setups, some of my market analysis in that Telegram group. You guys can ask me questions and all that. So the link is in the description to sign up for BYDFI, and also the link is in the description to sign up for the Telegram group. If you do want to sign up for the Telegram group, first, deposit the $100 in the exchange. You'll get a user ID. That's this number right here, this string of letters and numbers here. After you get into the Telegram group, type in /verify and then your user ID number, and that will automatically put you into that Telegram group. And once you're in, it's free. I just post some trade setups in there. You guys can ask me questions. And then, of course, it's just a win-win for all of us. You guys get discounts on your trading fees. You guys get a 50% deposit bonus, or you can get other bigger deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit. You don't have to deposit $100. You can do more if you want to. You can't be less if you want to get into the Telegram group. So that's just the agreement with BYDFI. And yeah, if you guys want to get into that, that's in the description. So what's up, Mark Dutch? You know what? I'm half naked today, man. So welcome in. You got me beat today. Anyways, guys, so yeah, Bitcoin's still ranging, and we are kind of at a key resistance area on Bitcoin. Whether Bitcoin is going to see that rejection and we're going to continue to range, which it is possible. When we do reject from an 886, we have seen this in ranges in the past. And when we do reject from that 886, also it is two major pitchfork resistances. Oftentimes, if you break back in the range, you will come down to fill that range. And so let's go ahead and turn on our range again. And this is just a little bit of caution. And for me, this is actually would be not such a bad thing, because we want Bitcoin to continue to range and allow some time for the alts to start popping off and for that altcoin season to go. Especially if you're really interested in paying attention to altcoins right now, like I am, then I do think it's not such a bad thing if we do, now that we have re-entered after hitting our 886, after hitting our pitchfork resistance. Also, real quick, if we go to our major pitchfork, we hit the pitchfork resistance of our major pitchfork as well. This was a very, very key upper pitchfork band that we've rejected from multiple times in this market cycle. You can see rejection here, top of the pitchfork band, rejection here, top of the pitchfork band. And now we're testing it again to see if we're going to reject again from that pitchfork band after holding above it for a couple months in our prior all-time high range. So this is a very, very key pitchfork. You can see how well it's respected. We bounced from the lower band, pretty much perfect. We had that three-wave correction to come down to backtest the midline, and now we're just fighting with the upper band. And so we can expect this is a big resistance for Bitcoin. This general area here is a big resistance, and we could see a bit of a range, or just like in this area, we could see a bit of a three-wave corrective move down, a sideways correction to potentially then come up and break all-time highs. So if we zoom back, let's get back onto the Coinbase chart here. And what we're looking at right now is really we've fallen back inside our volume profile. And because we have fallen back inside our volume profile after attempting a breakout and rejecting from local resistance, there is a potential that we could reject on this bearish backtest. This is a bearish backtest of the value area high now that we have re-entered back inside that volume profile. And in yesterday's video, I did talk to you guys about the main support level that I'm watching is going to be the lower band of the pitchfork in here, We do have a naked daily point of control. If we go ahead and actually just turn on our naked daily points of controls, we do have a naked daily point of control in that area, and we have the value area low, golden pocket. Golden pocket from our last move up here from lows to highs. So that 116 to about 115.5, very, very key support in this area. And there is a potential that we could see a bit of a move down over the next couple days, especially if we reject in this resistance that we're at right now today. We could see a bit of a move down and continue this range, allowing more time for that alt season to really kick off and start pumping here. Right now, I am still long on Bitcoin. I longed 112,742. I am still long. I've taken 2 profits on that, and I do not plan to close this long position until new all-time highs or until getting stopped out. But if we do come down to 116K with some local bull divs on the chart, I will plan to compound that long position, add to that long position to look to come up to new all-time highs. So Bitcoin is doing its thing. The altcoin, let's go to the total market cap chart right now. Total market cap chart, we're breaking out of not only our local range that's about a month long. This is what Bitcoin is trying to do. Bitcoin dropped to the POC and is still inside the range. You can see the total market cap, because alts were a little bit more bullish. They are holding pretty much above that value area high, and now we are continuing to push up here. It does look like we are going to make new local highs. If we zoom out on the chart and we look at our bigger range for all of 2025, let's go ahead and hide this small range here. We were looking at sort of this rising wedge type pattern to end the bull market. This was our 2024 range. This so far has been our 2025 range, this volume profile that I have up right now. And we're looking for really overall kind of maybe coming up towards the highs of this area to see a potential end of the total market cap. That we have some targets up there. We won't go into those right now, but just talking about this range, you can see this is our macro 2025 range. And after bouncing, we deviated that range pretty well, got back above the range, attempted to hold the POC. We couldn't, so we dropped to the value area low, held the value area low, and now we're attacking the value area high again. But this time we're breaking out and we're maintaining right now above our prior highs here. This is showing strength for the total market cap. Money flow looks really good here. We did print a hidden bull div signal about a week ago, showing that this was most likely to be a higher low before making new highs. That has happened. And we do still have time left as far as our momentum here to potentially, we already are potentially creating some bear divs, but they are not confirmed yet. So we can see this total market cap break out. And because Bitcoin is going to be ranging, we know that's going to be money flowing into the altcoins. We covered the dominance. Dominance does look like it's going to keep dropping, at least to that 59% area. But overall, I do expect dominance to drop to about 55%. And this could be a really big push up for the altcoins. Let's zoom out onto the weekly chart here. And we have a much, much bigger channel. This blue channel here is the bottom price action of the Bitcoin dominance. And we broke above. Let's actually just hide this range real quick. And let me hide our smaller channel. We broke above the channel midline earlier in December of 2024. This is when the alts were pumping. We saw the alts pump really aggressively in December, but we came down and we held that midline, that big weekly midline. We held it as support, and Bitcoin dominance continued to push up. But now that we are seeing a break in market structure on the daily time frame, you can see on the weekly time frame, it was just wicks above our prior lows, but we could not reclaim those prior lows. Because we could not reclaim those prior lows, we're going to continue dropping to really our next major level of support, which is going to be this golden pocket coming in between 59 and 58.5. I do expect some sort of bounce from there, some sort of at least little bounce to create a lower high. And then if we do create that lower high, I do expect an impulse to continue down here, to come down to this midline and test this midline again, which is going to be around 55 to 56%, depending on time. We do see those pretty massive bearish divs here coming in on the weekly time frame, and now finally our weekly money flow is topped out. You can see the bear divs on NAMI, and on NAMI, which is a faster money flow, the money flow is crossing over into the red. Now, I know that dominance is not money that is trading, so money flow is a little bit different, but we can still look at it as a technical signal, and this technical analysis still does play out for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin and the total market caps. Let's get into the fun. Let's get into some of the altcoins here. Real quickly, I want to cover Ethereum. Now, guys, I've been bullish on Ethereum, expecting Ethereum to come up to that $4,500 target for about a month now. Let's zoom in onto the daily time frame. And really, since the lows of our pitchfork, we created this pitchfork based off of the 2022 bear market lows up to our cycle highs, down to our cycle lows from this cycle. And you can see just how well this pitchfork has been respected. We really chopped around in the lower band for a couple weeks, broke up through it, attempted to hold above the midline for 2 months. We finally got a breakdown of the midline, but we came and we bounced from a very, very key support level. We bounced not only from, if you take your previous range lows to the current, what was the current range highs, you turn on that golden pocket, we came down to that golden pocket and we bounce from that golden pocket area. But more importantly, we bounce from the anchored VWAP from the lows. Now, in a bullish trend, you really want to maintain above the average weighted, the volume weighted average price. And this is based off volume. So this is more important than just the average price. We bounced from that area and confirmed a break back above that pitchfork midline, continuing up to the upper band. Now, once we got up to that upper band, we did see a little bit of a range form up here. We on the daily time frame, we back tested the top of the band. We saw a bounce to make new local highs. So we took the liquidity of the local highs, and then we saw that bigger correction down to the lower part of the band because we hadn't back tested this band yet since breaking above it. If you guys notice something with every major pitchfork, generally you'll bounce from the level, you'll break above it, and then you'll back test it in a healthy market and confirm a flip to support before coming up to the next one. So with Ethereum, what happened with this upper band, we busted the first time we came up to it, we busted straight through the top of it. So we had a lower time frame back tested the top of it. We did make new highs, but then we never back tested the bottom of the band yet. And the bottom of the band really was the key level to back test because that is also where our 4-year long range value area high is coming in. So if we look at this volume profile, this is all the upper price action of Ethereum over the past 4 years. And this has been considered fair value. This is our big range here. And that value area high, you can see it has been, kind of a big resistance for us. So we wanted to break out above that, but also upon the breakout above that, just like here, we wanted to see a back test and to continue up to make new highs. Now, in this area earlier in this cycle, we back tested it, we flipped it to support, but we just had an SFP of the highs and then we fell back inside of it. Now, that was a bad sign. This time, what is happening is we are breaking out of it, back testing it, and not just SFPing the highs, but we're seeing continuation pushing up. And we are expecting a bigger impulse here on Ethereum from the lows, about $1,300, $1,400. We're looking for that big 5-wave impulse. We have our wave 1 here, our wave 2 here. We're looking for the wave 3 to come up all the way up to that 1.618 target, which happens to be in perfect confluence with the top of this very key pitchfork. Now, once we get up here, I am going to be taking profits, at least 80% profits on my long position. I did long the bullish backtest of the value area high. I gave you guys this in the Telegram before it happened. We were looking at the backtest of 34.25, which was the value area high of the range in confluence with the bottom of the pitchfork band. And we are pushing up here to that key third wave target. Now, once we get up there, it doesn't have to stop there. If Ethereum is bullish, we've seen some of the altcoins pump up to their 2.618, 3.618, 4.618 targets. But this is going to be a major, major target, especially because it's going to be the top of our bullish pitchfork. So if we do find resistance there, we can just expect a little bit of a dump down, maybe for a couple weeks long, maybe even a month or so. We want it to be about equal to this area here in a wave 4 retrace before seeing that wave 5 to complete this bigger weekly or daily impulse. So I am expecting new all-time highs on Ethereum. But from this area of 45.34, I am expecting we could get a bit of a pullback. Now, generally, at the end of your third wave, you don't just do this and do this. We're going to see a bit of a range form up in here. We might front run it. We might see a bit of a range or that exhaustion pattern that we see if we zoom in on the 4-hour chart. What you often start to see towards the end of these impulsive moves is you start to see this ascending channel type structure where you start to find some exhaustion. So you can come in here, do something like this, maybe peek your head above, hit the top of that pitchfork, maybe even try to wick out of it a little bit, and then you see that range break, that channel break down, and then that's when the real bigger correction can really start here. So if we do, we are seeing continued bear divs on Ethereum, but look at our money flow. Like our money flow looks just extremely bullish here on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. Money flow is looking really bullish. If we zoom it into the hourly chart, yesterday we were looking at this on the hourly chart, but we do have those multiple drives of bear div that are coming in here. Higher highs through all of here. It was lower highs through all of here, and we are now even still creating uh, lower highs overall in the momentum waves. What we really want to watch for is that bearish div on the money flow now, because money flow is still rising. And this is where NAMI really comes in as the star. Because NAMI's money flow is so much quicker, I have learned when we have the bear divs on momentum waves on Market Cipher B, but we have bearish divs on money flow on NAMI, when I see those two combined, it provides a really strong signal to look for that move to end. So what can we see here on NAMI right now? NAMI, the money flow is coming in aggressively, and we have invalidated the bear divs that we talked about possibly seeing yesterday. Right now, it does not look like this move wants to end just yet. We actually haven't quite made it up to that 1.618. We haven't made it up to the top of the pitchfork, which is going to be about 45.68. But I do think that we are coming up to a major resistance, and this is the area where we do need to start looking for some exhaustion on this move up. Not saying it has to end here. It can break out to the 2-to-1 Fibonacci extension target. It can break out much higher, but we want to just be aware that this is a major zone, major target for resistance, that we could possibly see a multi-week pullback on Ethereum. Overall, Ethereum's looking good. If we zoom out onto the 8-hour chart here, it is developing some bear divs. We had our regional bear divs from the last time. Bear divs here coming in. Money flow still looked very bullish. And now we're going to be looking for the bear divs regionally. And we want to see that money flow also create that bear div here. And if we see both of those coming up into this resistance target, I will be looking to potentially head short as well, to take a short. And on that short position, we'd just be looking, your targets. We don't know where this pump is going to end yet, but we would be looking generally between the 382 and the 0.5. So let's just pull it up to the top here. We'd generally be looking for a pullback around another macro backtest of that macro value area high. Something like seeing something boom, wave 4, and then you get your one more 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 5, breaking all-time highs, pushing up. So overall on Ethereum, we're expecting more upside over the next couple months. Maybe a pullback in there that lasts a couple weeks to a month long. Overall, it looks very strong on money flow. We did print the hidden bull div signal today on Market Cipher, on NAMI, excuse me, and it is just looking like a freight train that doesn't want to stop. So do not try to get inside of this freight train. I am not setting limit shorts here. I absolutely will not. With the momentum we see on Ethereum, I am not trying to get in its way. Now, I will set my limit TPs there because I'm comfortable locking in profits from this trade. Comfortable with what I've made, and always pay yourself. That way you don't go broke. But I will leave some open to continue running to even to break up to all-time highs. We need to watch for the SFP of all-time highs. Overall, Ethereum's looking good. Jesus Save 77, God bless you as well, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. What's up, crypto manipulation trader? We're going to go through SUI. We're going to go through all the coins right now. Let's actually go through HBAR real quick here. HBAR. Let's see. Is it on Coinbase? Yes. All right. So on HBAR, well, we did come down to that 1-to-1 target. So you can see here we had that 1-to-1 target. Actually, it was barely front ran, and we're in this upper range here. So we're just trading this range. Very similar to Bitcoin, though. I'm just going to hide this range real quick. We rejected the upper band of our pitchfork. Chopped around. We found some resistance at the lower band, broke above, and now we rejected the upper band of the pitchfork, which was also our macro value area high of our more macro volume profile that goes back to December of 2024. We're right around the POC of that volume profile right now, and we are around the midline of our pitchfork. So what we want to see really overall, we want to hold this midline of the pitchfork. We don't want to see a true breakdown of it. Reclaiming it today and yesterday was really good to see. Or let's actually zoom out to the daily chart here. Yeah, we attempted to lose it yesterday, but we're seeing an immediate reclaim of it. And usually when you see these fake outs where you attempt to break it down and you see immediate reclaim, that is a good signal. But you can see we did reject the point of control of our macro range. So really what we want to see on HBAR is to get above this 26.8 cent level of resistance, and then we can break up to our next levels above where we did front run that monthly level at 30.65. We have a naked weekly point of control, a daily level. We have a confluence of resistance in this upper pitchfork band, and I do think we can make another push up at that pitchfork band, ultimately breaking up to the value area high of the range, which by the time we get up there, we might be in confluence with that pitchfork band hitting up into that area. So it looks pretty bullish. Money flow on the daily time frame is looking nice and bullish here. Nami just printed the green dot, and it looks like Nami's attempting now to cross into the green again on money flow. All indications are pretty good that we are not losing that pitchfork midline. Let's zoom into the 4-hour chart, and then let's go ahead and clean this chart up a second. But we did see that 3-wave corrective move down, pretty much hitting our 1-to-1 target. Now, I wanted to take the lows of the range, and because we did not take the liquidity of the lows of the range, we wanted to see that hit into the 1-to-1 target and the SFP of the lows of the range, and then we wanted to see a continuation and an impulse to the upside. We did not do that. We front ran not only the liquidity, but we front ran our 1-to-1 target. So there is a possibility that we could continue this range for a bit and actually come down and take the liquidity, hit the lower band, and then continue, pushing to the upper part of this range or breaking out of this range to the upside. But if we pull that volume profile, let's turn that volume profile back on. We are bouncing from the point of control of that lower volume profile. We've been in this volume profile for about a month now, and we really need to reclaim this area of resistance. So you can see value area high of our smaller range, point of control of our major range. This is the area we want to break above right now. It does look like we're at least going to come up to make another attempt at that area, but very, very locally, we have broken market structure bearishly. So we, as a trader, we do need to pay attention to market structure. Market structure is king. And because we broke these 4-hour lows, you can see here, this is a market structure break. We broke them to the downside. Now we're bouncing from local support, but because we have switched market structure locally bearishly, we do need to now pull a golden pocket 786 from that prior high to that low of this correction, and we're coming up into that golden pocket right now. So if we are going to reject, the area where we would reject is between the golden pocket and the 786. This area here is going to be really key. Let's turn on our naked daily points of controls, and let's see if we have no naked daily points of controls in there. Let's see. That's our weeklies. Let's get into our dailies. All right. Yeah, no naked dailies in confluence with that golden pocket, so that's good to see. And it does look like we do have that naked daily point of control right above our prior highs that we attempted. So pay attention to this, guys. We do have our 786 and our golden pocket coming up right now. That's our very, very local resistance where we could continue this bearish trend. If we come up here, reject, we're going to continue our bearish trend, probably at least coming down to the test that point of control of our small range again. Maybe even coming down to the value area low or grabbing the range low liquidity. But if we can break above this, we do need to watch for that SFP of our highs over the weekend. Now, these are weekend highs. Remember what I say often about weekend highs. Weekend highs often get taken out. So we have some weekend highs up here that we could be targeting to see the SFP of those weekend highs into your naked daily point of control coming in about, what is that, 27.3. And if we SFP those highs into that naked daily and fall back inside this volume profile, that will trigger a short for me. So I would look for the short. That's not a short, that's a long. I would look for a short here. Stop would go above the highs wherever there, if we say we reject from that naked daily point of control. And I would be looking to target, if we're going to reject the value area high of the range, I would be at least looking to come down to that point of control of the range where another naked daily point of control is. So that could be a short that we trigger upon the successful SFP. If we do not get the SFP, we do not take the trade. And if we do not fall back inside your volume profile, you do not take the trade. That is what I'm looking at on HBAR. Money flow looks pretty good. It's coming up here. Let's check Market Cipher on and NAMI on the 1-hour chart. Yeah, 1 hour money flows rising to the upside. Unfortunately, we did not get the bull divs quite. I guess, yeah. So Nami did print some bull divs for us. You can see here lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. And now the money flow is crossing into the green and looking very, very strong on Nami. Now, Nami, because the money flow is quicker, of course, Market Cipher B has not crossed over into the green yet. But what we are seeing here is it bottoming out. We did not quite get bear divs, bull divs on Market Cipher because this is not a lower low here. It's a higher low. We have higher lows here, but we needed lower lows here. So no 1 hour bull divs on Market Cipher, but Nami did print those. Nami gave us the signal, the bull div signal, along with the money flow rising here, crossing into the green. And I do think a continuation is likely here on HBAR, at least coming up to that. I mean, we're at our golden pocket area, so we need to see how this golden pocket is going to react right now. Let's actually zoom in on the 15-minute chart. 15-minute is providing some slight bear divs, and money flow is draining out. We actually have some slight bear divs on money flow here as well. So you can see bear divs coming in here and bear divs potentially on money flow here. What I don't like about what I'm seeing right now is we're seeing a very small ascending channel. And what this is building up a liquidity trail. And if we do even reject from that local golden pocket, so let's pull that golden pocket again. And if we do reject from this golden pocket that we're hitting into right now, and we start to lose this ascending channel structure, even though it's a very low time frame intraday trend structure. Remember, all a channel is the trend. You're following the trend. If we start to reject here and break that trend, break this line of liquidity, we could come down and sweep it all very, very quickly. So I would be paying attention to that. We're just going to have to see how this golden pocket reacts. We're coming up into it right now. Overall, I would say it looks bullish. Money flow is not looking too bearish here. Yes, we do have some low time frame divs on the chart, but our higher time frame and our intermediate time frames are looking bullish here. If you're going to pull back from this golden pocket, what I would want to see is a small pullback, but to hold this pitchfork midline. Now that we're breaking above it, yesterday we attempted to see a breakdown. Today we're seeing an immediate reclaim. You do not want to close your daily candle below 25.35, really 25.38 or so. But I expect continuation in this range, at least if we can hold above 25.38-ish. I expect we're going to probably come attempt to take out those highs up here, see the S&P, the highs into our naked daily point of control and into the value area high of the range. And if we can break out of this smaller range, we are going to probably push up to this 28.9 cent area. Let's pull a golden pocket from our prior highs to our lows. Yeah, okay. No, that's definitely going to be our area of resistance is just above us, that 27 area, because we have the SFP of our prior highs that I just talked about. We have the value area high of our smaller range. We have our naked daily point of control in there. And let's see. Let's go zoom out onto the daily. Yeah. Okay, no daily levels in there, but I would say watch out for that general area, because if the range is going to continue here, and because we did not grab the liquidity of the lows of the range, there is a potential that we could reject this and see one more full rotation to the bottom of the range before continuing this breakout. We do not have to grab the liquidity before a breakout, though. It is not required. It's just oftentimes market makers will not get this close to a liquidity grab and leave those longs intact and just push up from here. Another thing we can look at is a potential impulse. We saw our 3-wave correction here, pretty steep, deep 3-wave correction. And if we're looking at a 5-wave impulse here, let's pull a Fibonacci from the potential lows of 3 to the highs of 3. And we did hit the golden pocket. So because we hit the local golden pocket, we cannot say that this is a wave 4 correction to the downside, a 3-wave zigzag correction in a wave 4 before seeing a wave 5. But actually even more bullish, if you want to be even more bullish, this does actually look like the start of a multiple 1-2 impulse. So a 1-2, 1-2, and then you would want to explode in your third wave, and then you want to see 4 5s coming up afterwards. So that's the very bullish case scenario. Do I know if that's going to play out? No, I don't. Money flow looks good on higher time frames. It's definitely a potential to play out, but we'll just have to see how our local resistances react. If we get confirmations to look for shorts or to take profits on longs, then take profits. Be happy with what the market gives you. Okay, that is about it for HBAR. I mean, overall, we're probably going to continue pushing up here. The value area high of the bigger range, we could come up all the way up into this area, top of the pitchfork band. We have a lot of confluence up in this area, between 32 and 34 cents. And really, we want to see a breakout even of that to continuation higher. Okay, let's check the chat real quick. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for joining. Please, you guys, if you get anything out of this video, any sort of insight at all, please hit that like button and share the video with anyone you think would find it interesting. Okay. Kajus, I just did cover Ethereum. I am going to be looking for a pullback soon, but right now, all indications are it's a freight train that doesn't want to stop. So that 45.34 to 45.68 is definitely a major, major resistance coming up on Ethereum, but it does not have to end there. That is the primary target for a wave 3. It does not have to end there. And right now I am it looks good. It looks good. It looks like it could bust through it. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's see. We'll do thank you, Jesus Save 77 again for that super chat. I appreciate that. And you didn't even post a coin you want me to look at. So if you want me to look at something, let me know. We will go through Sui, we'll go through Sei, Solana, we'll go through all the big ones. Myro, Quiles, we will definitely go through Myro. Welcome in, man. Thank you for the super chat. Tiamat, welcome in so much. Thank you for joining and thank you for modding. CRV, we'll go through CRV for sure. I am long on CRV right now. Why would we need to use the pitchfork? What are some indications that you personally need to make a decision? So, are you talking about a decision for a trade? First of all, a pitchfork, the reason why you use a pitchfork is because it gives you major Fibonacci targets in a trend. You know what a Fibonacci retracement is, something like this, a Fibonacci retracement where you pull it from the swing low to the swing high. That is going to be a psychological level for a bounce. Fibonacci is based off of really human psychology. It's found everywhere in nature. So oftentimes markets ebbs and flow. They don't just go one ways. So when you get a retrace, if you're in a bullish trend, that area should maintain the bullish trend overall. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, if you're in a bigger trend, you can pull pitchforks, and these pitchforks will give you the major areas, major zones for these bigger key swing areas, key swing targets. And so the strongest levels in a pitchfork are going to be the top and the bottom of the pitchfork, with that midline being a very, very key area as well. And then oftentimes around the bands, you see consolidation with inside the bands or generally around the bands. So it's just a trend. It's a trend tool. You can use it to find certain levels of support or resistance in a trend. They're very, very highly respected. I've been using pitchforks for 5 years or so now. I was showing even back in Jason Casper's Discord back in like 2021 when Injective was breaking out in price discovery and no one else had resistances for it. We shorted the exact top at like 56 or was 36, I can't remember, based off of a pitchfork level. And so these pitchforks can be really good to find targets in price discovery. They're just a great tool to use in my opinion. What do I personally need to make a decision for a trade? So first off, the thing you want to do is map out your levels. So look at your weekly timeframes, your monthly timeframes, your daily timeframes. Mark out those levels. Mark out your volume levels, naked daily points of control, naked weeklies, naked monthlies. You want to also pull your volume profile of the relevant range. You have a bigger daily range of your daily, and then you could pull a micro range of, day-to-day price action or even hour-to-hour price action, the trend for that, the range for that day. You find those levels of confluence where there's matching together. The reason why we long down here, because it was the bottom of our pitchfork band. It was the bullish backtest of our macro value area high. Now, this weekly is a fresh weekly, and this naked daily point of control is a fresh naked daily point of control. But in this area, we had a confluence of support, and we also knew we were in a bullish trend, attempting to break out of the volume profile. So as we were coming down here, I was zooming in, and I was looking for bull divs as we're coming down here. Now, because we topped out here, you're not going to have enough time to form bull divs here. You'd have to have lower lows in the price action, and you would have to have higher lows in the momentum waves. You're not going to have enough time frame on the daily to get a bull div. It's just not going to happen. So what you want to do is zoom in, zoom into the 4-hour chart. And as we're dropping, you want to see some 4-hour bull divs as you're coming down there. Now, even in this situation, 4-hour is not long enough for a small pullback like this. Generally, you're looking for 4-hour bull divs on much bigger corrections. But if you're coming down to that level, you want to see those bull divs confirmed. So you would come in on whatever time frame. You just got to gauge it. It's subjective from trade to trade. If you're looking only for a small pullback, then you're going to be zooming in on lower time frames, and you're going to be looking not only for the divs on momentum waves here, but you're also going to be looking for money flow to be bottoming out and to start to be coming to the upside. So for me, that's what I use. I use NAMI and Market Cipher B. They are my indicators on whether to enter or exit trades. But I will always say this: price action first, indicator second. And what I mean by that, market structure is king, first of all. And this is why Elliott waves are so powerful as well. Market structure is king. So we knew, potentially we had our lows here. We had broken market structure bearishly here by breaking down those lows. So we were looking, because we had broke market structure bearishly, we were looking for a potential lower high to come in, and then for the continuation of the bear trend that just could be starting. Now, in some cases, you do continue that pump to the upside, and great. On more macro timeframes, Ethereum was highly likely to bounce here and highly likely to come up here. We were actually expecting that with very high certainty. But market structure is king. Mapping out your key levels. So learning the TA, learning how to mark out weekly levels, learning how to mark out volume levels, learning how to use anchored VWAPs, because volume and liquidity run the market. So volume levels are some of the most important things. Learning how to use Fibonacci retracements, and then of course pitchforks and channels for me, and just price action first. Map out the confluence. Find your areas of interest. And once it gets down there, you let the market come to you. Once it gets down there, if you're seeing your confirmation to enter the trade, you enter the trade. And we will look at those coins, Aave and Tau. Okay, let's do Myro real quick. Actually, before Quiles, we will do Myro, but I just want to go into some of the big alts before we go into that. Solana is coming up into that macro value area high and that golden pocket area. But you can see we are actually seeing some very good continuation on Solana. I actually did long this 0.5 Fibonacci. We talked about this as a potential wave 5. First of all, we longed the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for a 5-wave impulse up. And we saw the pullback when we talked about this last week in the live streams. We had barely front run our golden pocket and our macro value area high. But we were looking at this being a potential 5-wave impulse to the upside. And we were looking for a pullback. And where's your pullback levels in a wave 4 is between the 382 and the 0.5. Now, we were looking at that 382 because it had confluence with our point of control. We did drop down to the 0.5. You can see we held it. Multiple attempts to break it down. We held it, and now we're pushing up in an impulse. So we are in the 5th wave of our local impulse here. Now, because we saw a 3-wave corrective move here into our support, we're actually expecting these highs to be taken out eventually. But what we could be seeing here within a bigger impulse to the upside, this is where things can get very, very exciting for Solana and some of the altcoins. Within your bigger impulse to the upside on the daily time frame, similar to what Ethereum is seeing right now, you're looking for a push up in a wave 1. And with inside your wave 1, you're looking for a sub count, a sub-degree 5-wave impulse. Well, we're seeing that, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 5-wave could end here, or it could come a little bit higher. We can actually measure the targets in just a second. You're going to look for a pullback in a wave 2. Generally, your wave 2s do retrace deeper to that golden pocket area. Then your 3rd wave is generally your most explosive, volume-filled, and long wave to the upside. Your wave 4 is usually shallower and longer, coming between the 382 and the 0.5. And then you see a 5th wave, and within your 3rd wave, you're looking for a sub count of 5 waves. You're looking for 5 waves within this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're looking for a 3-wave correction here, or a complex correction, which is just a series of 3-wave corrections. Then you're looking for a 5-wave impulse within here. So that's where Elliott waves, it gets a bit confusing because there's primary degrees, there's sub degrees, there's a lot to go in. But if you can just determine what is impulsive versus corrective price action, that will really, really help you in your trading. Down here, we were looking at this being a potential impulse down, but when we bounced here and started breaking local market structure, sawing that this low was an actual low. Okay, now we knew that this was a three-wave correction. We were highly likely to pump to at least come up to test our purple box of resistance. Well, now we're here, we're testing it, we're attempting to break above it. So to me, this looks good. Solana is breaking above with this nice volume imbalance candle to the upside. Let me just delete that now. Breaking out of our smaller range value area high. So this is our range that we've been in for about a month. We're breaking the value area high of our smaller range, and we're attempting to go break again the macro value area high. So guys, this is very important for Solana right now because this macro value area high goes back to December of March of 2024. Let's see here. I can't remember now. It goes back to March of 2024. So over a year long, year and a half long range. You can see the last time we came and we attempted a breakout of it, we failed that breakout. We broke back down within, back tested the value area high bearishly, and came down to our next major support level, being that anchored VWAP from our trend, our macro trend, being this uptrend here. Now we are bouncing from that area and we're attempting to break out again. So we're at a key decision point for Solana. If we can close this daily candle, breaking back above this macro value area high and sustaining above this macro value area high, not only do I think we have a golden pocket at like $216. Let's pull that golden pocket. Yeah, $218 or so. We have and we actually do need to, let's check this. I believe this was, yeah, that's a 67% drop. So we're going to take that fib and we're going to put it based off log scale. If it's over 30%, you want to change that to log scale if you're using the log chart. So we did reject from that golden pocket in this area. We've already tapped it once. So now it's going to be weaker. If we come back up again, we really want to be looking at that 786 now. And you can see where's that 786 coming in. It's coming in at this level 232 to 235, where we also do have a monthly level up there. We have a weekly level, daily level up there as well. We do have a daily at 216 that we need to be paying attention to. And we could see a small rejection from there to back test our value area high after breaking out. But overall, our next confluence of resistance is between 232 and 235. And I do think that it looks highly likely that Solana will break up to that area. And then see the continuation in this bigger uptrend here. And after rejecting from this area, we could look for a large time frame backtest of that value area high. If we backtest this multi-year value area high and flip it to support, you can expect probably new all-time highs on Solana. Just like we're seeing on Ethereum right now. Ethereum's backtesting its macro value area high, flipping it to support, and now coming for the all-time highs. Solana looks good, looks bullish. Money flow looks bullish. We'll say we're at local resistance right now, but if it's at local resistance, but we're attempting to break out of that, and this looks very impulsive to me. And because we did bounce from our local 0.5 target, we were looking to at least break these highs so we can take a Fibonacci from the highs to the lows of wave 4. Let's turn on our wave 5 targets. So your wave 5 target, we're actually hitting into one of them right now. It's between the 1.236 and the 1.618. Most commonly, I do see it rise all the way to the 1.618. And do we have internal liquidity right around that area? So yeah, pay attention to that 1.618. We could see the SFP of these highs at 195.37, wicking right above that 1.618, finishing this 5 wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, grabbing that liquidity, and then at least seeing a low time frame backtest of that macro value area high before flipping it and then continuing. And then, of course, once we come up to, you'll probably see a small rejection at that 216 daily, and then coming up to that big level of resistance. If we reject from this level, I would look for a larger time frame backtest of that macro value area high before continuing. But all indications are that this is going to continue pushing up. We're at the zone of local resistance, the purple box being the macro value area high, the golden pocket. And let's check our naked dailies. Yeah, no naked dailies above us, so looking pretty good here. All right, that's it for Solana. Let's go into Sui. Sui is pushing up now, guys. We did reject right from that 1.618. Now, once again, we were looking at Sui in a potential 5-wave impulse, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, coming right up to our 1.618, just like Ethereum is right now. And this is what I'm talking about with Ethereum. See how it doesn't reject right away from that 1.618? We form a bit of an exhaustive range up here, and then you start to lose market structure. So it doesn't mean that Ethereum's going to come up, do this, and do this. I want to see something like this. And this actually will give us enough time to actually get into a short position. If Spartacus Crypto is in the chat right now, over the weekend, I believe it was on Saturday, I just happened to be looking at the charts, and he asked me in the Telegram group, we had come up and we had tapped this area here, but we did not hit our point of control. Our point of control was higher. If you pull the volume profile back, your point of control was higher. We did not tap it yet. And I said, I want to see an SFP of our local highs to actually tap that point of control and tap the golden pocket. And we did get that local short trade from there, and we ended up seeing that play out. So we're looking for, but we did reject from that local 1.618. We broke market structure bearishly locally, breaking down below like these range lows, or you could even say this range low right here. Broke market structure bearishly locally. So now we were looking for a lower high to come in and then a continuation down. But we were looking for a three-wave corrective move down. Three-wave corrective move down. We back tested the bottom of the channel. Actually, yesterday in the Discord, I did say, not the Discord, the Telegram, I did say that we were back testing this channel, and this is the must-hold area. If it does hold, we're probably going to break to new highs, and we are holding it. And now we're attempting to break out in an impulse in a 5-wave in your larger 5th wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're expecting to push up to break the highs here now. Now that we have hit this resistance already and rejected from it, we could take this off the box, this box off the chart. Now we could take this 1.618 off the chart, and we're just going to pull our Fibonacci from the highs of wave 4 to the lows of wave 4, and we're going to look at our wave 5 targets. So your wave 5 targets are between the 1.236 and the 1.618. Well, what do we see right away that sticks out to us like a sore thumb? Value area high of our small range is in confluence with one of our targets. So for me, if I'm long on SUI, which I am, my next target would be 409. That's my next take profit, at least partial, because first of all, it's the value area high of your range, and if you're going to continue to range, then you're going to reject that area and at least come down to flip the point of control to support before continuing higher. But 409 would be my next area of resistance, and then really coming up to that weekly at 432. We have a fresh weekly up there that is pretty good. After the 5-wave impulse ends, so say we do in this 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we reject this 409 area. Well, after any impulse ends, you're looking for a corrective move down, and generally we'd be looking down to that golden pocket. So you're going to pull your Fibonacci from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse. Let's just put it on that value area high, and let's turn it to the golden pocket. And you could come down, and here this is where the confluence starts to kick in, guys. If we're trading a range, a sideways range, okay, if we come up to the value area high and reject the value area high, which would be where our 5th wave target is, now we can expect a potential rotation down to the POC. But if we lose the POC, you're going to expect a rotation down to the value area low. Just range trading, market auction theory. And so if we are going to reject the value area high and lose the point of control, well, where's your support golden pocket coming in? It's coming in right around the value area low. And by the time we get down there, it's going to be right around the bottom of the channel as well. Another back test of that channel. Overall, SUI is looking pretty strong, though, I would say. Let's zoom out and look at SUI on some higher time frames. On the daily time frame, first off, we saw SUI bottom out here, saw a nice 5-wave impulse on the daily time frame. That 5-wave impulse completed perfectly. And then what did we see? We saw a correction down. This is just what I talked about. If we're going to end this impulse and then correct down to the golden pocket before seeing continuation, in this impulse, correct down to the golden pocket. Now you want to see continuation. So this, to me, what's worrisome about this wave, this being a wave 3, if this was a wave 1 on a bigger daily impulse, I would say a weekly impulse, like this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing way higher, your wave 3, you really want to see that breakout and see some strength come in, some real strength and some real veracity come in on that push up. And right now, we are not seeing that. We stalled out at the value area high of our range. We broke, and by the way, we did short this. We were looking for the short there. We took profit on the long there. And if we look at, let's just hide this smaller volume profile. One thing that we do need to be a little bit worried about is a potential topping reversal pattern, whether you want to call that a head and shoulders or a Model 2 distribution or a Model 1 distribution. But we have a potential left shoulder, head, and then if we do come up and reject right shoulder, and that would be a rejection, a topping reversal pattern at your macro value area high, you could expect a rotation, maybe possibly down to the value area low. And that, not saying that's going to happen yet. Money flow does look bullish here, but we do need to watch for rejection so you can pull that golden pocket from the highs to the lows of this push down. We already hit the golden pocket once. So we rejected from golden pocket, but we're bouncing from local support and now seeing a very nice bullish engulfing candle on the daily time frame. So to me, that this tells me that we're at least going to probably come up and test around these highs again, creating a possible Model 1. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. But because we did break market structure on the daily time frame bearishly, remember, market structure is king. So this low right down here at 351.9, it was our daily low. We had broken market structure bearishly on the daily time frame by breaking down below that area. Because we broke down, and now we could be seeing a shift in market structure from bullish market structure to bearish market structure, we do need to pay attention to the lower high targets. So your lower high targets mainly are the golden pocket to the 786. So let's throw that 786 on the chart as well. And that 419 area is an area where we potentially could reject as well. I believe if we pull that volume profile again, okay, value area high is below that. So I would say, and that's where that 409 wave 5 target is. So if we break out of this volume profile, we're at least coming up to 419. We also, you can see we have a nice daily fair value gap in here. And for those of you that don't know what a fair value gap is, it's just when you see a big candle like this where there's no wick, like see this wick comes into this candle up to here and there's no wick. So there's a little bit of a gap in here that's not been tested by either side of the candle. So that's a fair value gap that's been created. Oftentimes you will come fill those fair value gaps because there are imbalances in the market, and the market does like to balance itself out. So we could push up. I think that weekly is a really good level. It's also a daily level. Obviously, we're on the daily chart. You can see that's a daily level as well, right up there. And this general area of resistance, we did reject this box was because there was a naked weekly point of control at the macro value area high. I would just be looking for a potential rejection around this area. And maybe our 886 is up there as well, because in ranges, 886 often do reject, just like it did on Bitcoin the other day. So yeah, your 886 is very close to that weekly. I'd just be watching that general area. It looks like we're going to continue pushing up, breaking out from Sunday's highs, though. The way that this candle looks on the daily time frame, money flow looking good. On NAMI, money flow is attempting to cross up into the green again. Let's go onto our 8-hour time frame. Green dot on Market Cipher B, money flow trying to cross up into the green again. And even on NAMI, it looks like it's trying to bottom out here. This looks impulsive. This looks like a very strong bounce from the back test of the channel. This channel right here, this back test, looks very, very strong. We've been chopping around, creating a potential topping reversal pattern up here, but we might be able to hold this and finally break out of this and continue our bullish momentum to the upside. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, money flow looks pretty good here. Money flow on NAMI is starting to roll over. So I think that at least we're going to come up and take out the highs from the weekend. Weekend highs often get taken out. I mean, it looks very much so like we could come take out those highs. And I would even be looking to come up a bit higher here. 2-hour chart. Yeah, no real bear divs yet. We did see the bear divs in here. Higher highs here, lower highs here, lower highs here. So those bear divs gave us that 3-wave corrective move down. But pay attention to, remember what I talked about earlier, the difference between corrective and impulsive price action. When you see a 3-wave move in like this, and then you start pushing up with some volume here, that means that was most likely a corrective move before coming to take out the highs. So for me, it does make sense that we're going to come take out the highs from the weekend at $3.99, really $4. Okay, that's it for SUI. Let's go into Sei. Now, guys, I gave you guys this long position on Sei in the Telegram before. We pumped straight up. I did have a TP1 target at the golden pocket at 32.2, 32.25, I think it was. Yeah, 32.25 area. And the reason why we had a TP at this area right here is because we had an internal liquidity grab into a golden pocket. So anytime I see that, I'll pay attention. We actually did get that liquidity grab into the golden pocket, and we got a small pullback, but we only pulled back to the VWAP, and then we pushed up to our real resistance. The real confluence of resistance we were looking at the whole time, though, was that 34-cent area being the, oops, get this, being that golden pocket in confluence with the value area high of the range and our pitchfork band. And pitchfork, high time frame pitchfork levels are no joke. So rejected from that area, but what did we see, guys? 3-wave corrective move down, hitting into golden pocket, and now we're pushing. Now, the thing is, this golden pocket touch, I talked about this in yesterday's video. We did actually not want to see us hit this golden pocket, because if you pull a golden pocket from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, if you come down in your fourth wave to a golden pocket, that invalidates it. Now, in a wave 2, you want to come down to the golden pocket. That's the best area to come down to. But in a wave 4, you do not want to pass that 0.5 Fibonacci level. And because we did, it just invalidates this as an impulse, a 5-wave impulse here. So we cannot be measuring our wave 5 targets now, pulling it from the highs of 4 to the lows of 4, because it will give us, it's not valid. But it doesn't mean that you can't bounce from this level. What I would be expecting is a bounce and potentially a liquidity grab in a bigger flat correction where you see a bigger complex correction in here. Or if we can break out, like, let's see, money flow's looking pretty good. I mean, we can absolutely still break out, but in that case, we would have to alter our bullish count. And actually, it would be even more of a bullish count. We would have to look at this as a double 1-2. So you have your 1-2, 1-2, and then you would be looking for your big explosion in the third wave, and then you'd see 4-5, 4-5. The issue with that is generally your primary 1-2, your first 1-2, you generally want to be bigger than your second 1-2. Your second 1-2, you want to be smaller. So if we reverse these, that would look good. It's not a hard rule. This still absolutely could be a double 1-2 impulse, and we're about to explode in the third wave. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. We are in a range. There's a couple ranges to be looking at on Sei. So let's zoom out here and let's talk about the pitchfork. First of all, on Sei, guys, look at this here. I mean, like, we bottomed out in our bigger, huge correction here. Hit directly into the 1-to-1 at the bottom of the pitchfork. I mean, if I was paying attention to Sei right there, I would have freaking sold the house and long this baby. So you bounced from the bottom. Let's clean this chart up a bit. Bounce from the bottom. Had your accumulation range. That's this volume profile down here. You can see this little range here. This is a bottoming reversal pattern. Left shoulder head, right shoulder, or you can say tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, accumulation occurring right here, accumulation, whales buying, expansion is starting. So we are seeing expansion start. And you can see here, once again, why are pitchforks so amazing? You bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork, you came up to the midline, you rejected the midline, chopped all the way down to the lower band, back tested that lower band, broke above. Now, a few months ago, right before I started my Telegram, in Jason's Discord, we did actually long this back test at 24.67 because we broke above this pitchfork midline. We came back for a back test at that pitchfork midline, bounced here, and we actually brought it all the way up to 38 cents where we had our macro log golden pocket. But we're finding resistance at this upper band, and this upper band is going to be a tough nut to crack here. We did reject from it once. We found bearish market structure. We started bearish market structure on the daily time frame. But this is our overall range to be trading. Let me turn that back on. This range here. So what I'm looking at is the break above the pitchfork midline and all the price action above the pitchfork midline, because we could be forming a head and shoulders topping reversal pattern where we're about to break this back down and come test this midline again, or we're forming just a range that's going to continue the expansion up here out of this accumulation that we saw, this multi-month accumulation down here. I think Sei looks bullish. Overall, Sei looks very, very bullish. So I expect to move actually up to the top of the pitchfork around 46 cents. You can see by the time we get up there, We're going to have a weekly in confluence to that. We're going to have some very key targets up here to be looking at. But locally, we're just ranging. So trade the range until it breaks. And knowing that we came up from the lows to the highs, or from the highs to the lows, we came up and we rejected that golden pocket on Saturday. That could be because we have broken market structure bearishly. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, maybe, yes. Lower low, continuing, maybe, yes. So we do need to understand on the daily time frame, we're in bearish market structure. We have broken our lows, our prior range lows. We broke them bearishly. We came up, we made a lower high. Then we broke our lows again bearishly. Now, are we going to come up and make a lower high? If we are going to come up and make a lower high, the area we're going to come up and make that lower high is at that golden pocket. Well, what else is there? The value area high of your range is there. Your golden pocket's there. Your pitchfork band that you rejected is there. So this is our major resistance. That is why we longed 28 cents and took profit at 34 cents. Now, we are seeing a very strong bounce today from our even more local golden pocket, bullish engulfing candle, or it looks like it could turn out to be a bullish engulfing candle for the day. If that's going to happen, I would suggest that we're going to come target the top of the pitchfork band again around 36 cents. Or we have a fresh daily level right up here at, oops, I didn't mean to do that. At 34.61, we could be looking at the SFP of the highs from Saturday. We remember weekend highs often get taken out and then you get a reversal. So do we come up to SFP our weekend highs into our daily? Well, it's a little bit higher than I would like for an SFP, a little bit too far for me personally. But because we are bouncing from here, and actually we can pull a channel and we can look at this very local trend. Are we going to break this trend up? We're coming to the top of the channel right now. So if we reject here, I expect a rotation at least probably back down to this midline. But if we can break this local downtrend here, we're probably going to at least take out the weekend highs at 34 cents. I would expect this really to come up. We have a daily level in here, but I'd expect us to come up to the top of the pitchfork band at 36.4. We could also pull a volume profile of this upper range. Okay. Our point of control is near our daily, so that could be a zone where you could reject from daily point of control. You have an internal liquidity grab right here into that daily. But really, the value area high coming in at 36 cents. By the time we get up here, say we do this, reject, come back test that, boom. You work your way up. You're not going to do it all in one shot. That value area high is going to be in pretty close confluence with the top of the pitchfork band. So we look for the value area high of your previous range. Say, looking pretty good. Okay, I'm spending too much time on these guys. I'm very sorry about that. We're never going to get through all the coins if we keep going like this. XRP's bullish, guys. XRP, we're breaking. We bounced from the bottom of the channel. So a couple days ago in the Telegram, I posted about this. Now, yesterday in the video, I said I didn't long this yet because we were not seeing bull divs. We're not seeing confirmation to enter the long from here. But this is our wave 4 target, right? Between the 0.5 and 382. Just looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming up to at least that 346 area. And we bounced from our point of control, bounced from our 0.5, and we're attempting to break the range. Now, this long position someone was asking me about in the Telegram, I'm in from around 315. So what I did yesterday, when I made the video, I was not in the long position yet. But you can also see, what do we do down here? It's called the 3 drives pattern. So if you look at this, we had our initial lows. We came down, we SFP'd those lows. Okay, that's your first drive of the 3 drives pattern, or second drive, whatever, Then we came down and we SFP'd the SFP of the lows. That's a 3 drives pattern. You get those tap 1, 2, 3 drives pattern, reversal, boom. So upon seeing the third SFP, I was still not comfortable to long until we reclaimed the POC. Once we reclaim the POC, enter long, and I'm at like 315, enter long, stop goes below the low. I was targeting, value area high up here and internal liquidity grab into value area high. Really, we want to target, our main target is going to be that guy right up there, this area. So I am long on XRP right now. XRP is it is breaking out of our descending channel that we've been in for about a week. And I've been showing you guys this channel not only in the Telegram, but on the videos and the live streams. We're bouncing from the level. And because we did bounce from our 0.5, we actually expect to come take out these highs. We can pull a Fibonacci from the lows to the, from the highs to the lows, excuse me, and then put on our wave 5 targets. Yeah, 1.236 to the 1.618. So really this zone in here is going to be my next major zone of resistance that I'm going to want to be watching. We're attempting to break out of the channel right now. When you see a corrective channel like this and you break out of it, you oftentimes will sweep the liquidity of the second pivot, or at least like you'll grab all the liquidity of the channel. So I'm looking for at least to move up, probably to take out the highs from Thursday, August 7th. Okay, let's do that. Chainlink is just bullish as heck. So Chainlink is breaking above our naked weekly POC, and you can see it's flipping our naked weekly POC to support. We were looking at Chainlink, and Chainlink is in a very bullish 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, look at your big third wave here. 4, 5. Now, I did tell you guys the main target that I'm looking at of Chainlink, the main resistance that I'm looking at coming up here is that $25 area up here. So I guess I could scoot this over a little bit. That $25 area where we have a weekly, we have a monthly up there, but we're breaking above our pitchfork midline. And you can see we bounce from the bottom band of the pitchfork right here. Let me turn off these weeklies. Bounce from the bottom end of the pitchfork, continuing the impulse up. Now, overall, we're looking at a much bigger impulse here. You know, a wave 1, a wave 2, your wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So this could end a much, much bigger impulse here to the upside, hitting into that 25. But what I'm going to be looking at now, because we're breaking above our key pitchfork midline, this is a high time frame level of resistance. And if we close today's daily candle, also our value area high, we're breaking out of our macro value area high. Let's go back here onto the daily time frame. This goes back to like 2 years to 2023. This goes back to November of 2023. So over or about 2 years long now, we're breaking out of that value area high. You can see the last time we came up there, we saw a harsh rejection. Got to move down to the pitchfork band. Breaking above not only the value area high of the range, but above the pitchfork midline. If we close today's daily candle above $23, that pitchfork midline, I expect not only to come up to here, reject, but I would want to see a rejection from here, a back test of that midline, and continuation up to the upper band. You know, maybe even SFPing your highs into that upper band up there. Yes, there is some resistance before then. We do have some resistance levels in there as well. Some weeklies in here. We do have some weeklies and stuff. And we'll look at those after we get above 25, where we can look at different levels of confluence. I think there's a naked monthly point of control up there. Nope. Okay, naked weekly. Wow. All right. Well, Chainlink is looking pretty good here. And really locally breaking above the pitchfork midline and the naked weekly point of control. But look at what happened earlier today. Break above the naked weekly point of control, back tested his support, and now we're trying to continue to work our way up here. So, you know, for me, very high probability we make it to 24. And I'm long on Chainlink too. My next take profit is 24.89. Okay, let me check the chat, and then I will get to your guys' super chats. I'm sorry about that. We will look at AVAX. We will look at Myro, Alve, Tau, GRT Link. Well, we just did Link, so Link there. And thank you, Tiamat. I appreciate the super chat. God bless you as well, man. Yeah, it's going to be a long stream. I know, guys. It's going to be a long stream. I do have 2 screens. I do, actually. I have 2 screens right back to back here. And my chat, I'm sorry, I do have 2 screens. I just don't look at the chat because I'm so focused on the TA over here that I'm not looking at my chat. So I will try to do a better job of checking in on chat, guys. Oh, ETH. Okay, ETH. Wow. Okay. Money flow looks bullish. We're printing a green dot here. Let's check out the 12-minute chart. Man, this thing might keep going. Let's do this. zoom out here. Let's take that 1.618 and let's turn on some other extinction targets. Let's turn on that 2.0 extinction. And let's turn on the, yeah, really that 2.0 is the next major extinction we're going to want to be watching. I mean, Ethereum, you guys know when Ethereum gets going, This back test of the macro value area high and a confirm a flip to support, and now we're continuing in an impulse here. Now within this fifth wave or this little impulse up from the back test, we could be looking for 5 waves in itself. So from the back test, actually let me zoom out to the hourly chart. From the back test here, we want to be looking for 5 waves. Well, 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know if this was a 4. And remember, yesterday when I was talking about it, I wanted to see us come down to 41.52 to grab those range lows. We had front run it a couple times. I would say because market structure wasn't broken here, this all could be still part of your 3, 4, 5. Maybe our 5 wave is going to come take us up in this little impulse we're seeing right now is going to take us all the way up to SFP, the all-time highs, or up to the 2-to-1 at 5,100. And that would be the end of your bigger third wave on the daily time frame. You would expect after ending your third wave on the daily time frame, seeing a multi-day correction. But be aware, guys, because oftentimes when things are bullish like this, you will see a bit of a wick that ends on very high volume here, and then you'll start to range up in this area. Now, remember, that's the target, but you're looking, this is your zone of resistance. So we're looking for, and pretty nice spike in volume there. We could be looking at a range that occurs in this general area. And then that dump, back test, and then a bigger wave force daily correction start to come in. So we are at resistance, but all indications are like money flow looks super bullish here. I don't see any bearish, and this is why I did just TP 75% of my long position from 34.25. But that's why I left some to run, because you never know. And everything looks bullish to me on Ethereum right now. We're not really seeing bear divs. Let's even go on the 15-minute chart. Are we seeing bear divs on? No bear divs on the 15-minute. Locally, we were seeing some bear divs on NAMI, but we printed a hidden bull div signal right afterwards. Very locally, maybe if we top out now, we're going to start doing some bear divs on money flow on NAMI. And so a little bit of signs of weakness. Now, what I would be looking for now on Ethereum, if we do lose this now, that is going to be a sign that, this could be done. So we saw that one last volume push up through that 1.618 and through the top of that pitchfork. We do need to watch now. If this was it, if this was our high for the day and we start to kind of lose this a little bit, I'd get a bit concerned here. Okay, let's do Myro USD. Okay, banana gun. 135 million worth of ETH shorts liquidated in the past 60 minutes. Wow. Well, why? So, guys, anytime you see a freight train like this, do not try to short this momentum. Wait for a range to form. Even in here, you could have played this little range, but you were still prioritizing long positions, even though you were seeing bear divs in here. You were still prioritizing long positions. Anytime you came down near the lows of this range, knowing we were looking to come up higher, you should have been scalp longing on this thing. Just like we're looking to scalp long on XRP right now. We're looking to scalp long on a lot of, Sei, Sui, all these coins. So just be aware of that. Okay, back to Myro. I believe this is the chart that we used. Geez, look at that wick there on Myro. So we have a couple charts here. That's this one. And then we were looking at all right. There we go. Geez, Myro's just breaking through. So we did get a small rejection from this box of resistance, but pretty much back tested that naked monthly point of control, and now we're pushing up. So a lot of these levels are probably old. Let's just clear out some of this stuff here. We're at our macro golden pocket, though, right now. We can get rid of this weekly. Weekly was flipped to support. You break above it, flip it to support. Now we're continuing. I don't know if this wick is on other exchanges, but that break there looks pretty good. And we're breaking out of our bearish pitchfork. You can see we bounced from the lower band, came up. We did get some rejection at the top of the pitchfork up here. Rejected back down pretty much to backtest that naked monthly. And now we're pushing back up here, breaking out. And actually, you can see here, break above the pitchfork, backtest the point of control and the pitchfork, and then boom. Let's pull this volume profile all the way. Okay, this is your upper range that we're looking in, daily range. I'm going to get rid of this pitchfork now. Actually, we'll leave it on for another higher time frame bearish backtest, but we'll hide it. And now we can look at this range here. Let me check to see if this monthly point of control. Okay, that's been taken out. Let's get rid of that. We do have a naked monthly point of control up here. At 55 cents. And we're rejecting from the naked weekly up here. Let me check to see if other exchanges. Yeah, I guess so. So all those exchanges have that wick, it looks like. You're at your golden pocket. Overall, besides the wick, you're at the golden pocket if you exclude that wick. So this could be an area where we do reject around the golden pocket area. Let's turn off this. And I'm going to hide this range for a second. And now that we're switching our trend bullishly, locally, this is bullish, we are going to pull a pitchfork from our last major swing low. To our swing high, to our swing low, and we're going to turn on a skiff pitchfork. Yeah, okay. So we hit the upper band. That's where that wick ended. But this general area, golden pocket, and then it's going to be the value area high of your range at the top of the midline of the pitchfork. So be aware of that. Like a little bit of a push, and actually is this on? So that's based off log scale. But if we take that off log scale, that's where your golden pocket's good. So we're at resistance. Value area high, golden pocket, pitchfork midline. Because that wick, though, you might continue pushing up and start to fill some of the imbalance inside of that wick. I would be at least looking for Myro. Money flow looks good. We're printing hidden bull dip signals everywhere here on NAMI. I would look for continuation, and also look at this, like this break above the point of control, above the pitchfork band, and above the naked weekly point of control. The back test of that, and now you're continuing here. So excluding that wick, we're just starting to kind of continue this grind up. And I'd be looking at that 31 to 32 cent area as a potential. That's resistance for sure. If you're long, I would definitely at least be looking to take some profit in this general area. It doesn't mean that it's going to stop there for sure, but I do expect probably some sort of pullback from there, a bigger pullback from this area, and at least to form a bit of a range. It is your value area high as well. And if we do pull back from that area, we probably would be looking to come back down to that POC again and backtest that lower band. Let's go on to the weekly time frame. Weekly did print a hidden bull div at the lows down here. We'll have to check something a little bit smaller. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good overall. 2-day money flows crossing into the green on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. They look both really good. No bear divs coming up into this area. Because of this wick, I would be looking at potentially coming up to fill that. Because oftentimes when you see scam wicks like that, they do eventually get taken out. Now, that was an SFP of our prior highs. So this scam wick makes it a little bit confusing here, because if we just shot up to SFP those highs, and it's because it's low liquidity, and we're gonna overall reject around this golden pocket, then you got to be careful here. You grab the liquidity of the highs, and boom, you could even pull a bigger range from those lows. Yeah, it's pretty value area high is pretty much the same. So, and when we zoom in, the actual value area high is right where the golden pocket is. It's just when you zoom out, it's including all this because it's part of the same candle on the daily 2 day. But yeah, coming up to that 32-cent area, it is definitely resistance. Let's go to the 2-hour chart, and there's really nothing above us. That daily level, let's make sure that's a fresh daily. Okay, that is a fresh daily. We hit it today, obviously, with that wick. But that daily up there is a pretty interesting level that we could be watching. Let's go back to 2-hour. Yeah, your 786 is going to be right there. I guess all the exchanges did have that, so that was an actual tap. A bit concerning because you did come up way high up there, grab the liquidity, and now you're dropping back down below your pitchfork midline. So to me, this area is very crucial. Breaking above 32 cents, you're going to see continuation automatically up to 36, even though it's been tapped with the wicks. 36 is still going to be a resistance. And then honestly, coming up to the top of the pitchfork and that naked monthly point of control, 55 to 60 cents up there. Yeah. That naked monthly point of control at 55 cents, that's where your macro log golden pocket is, pulled from the last major, like 2 day high to that low. This big impulse down here. And so that golden pocket at 55 cents to 60 cents, top of the pitchfork, I would be looking at that level. And then you could even pull a Fibonacci of all the way. Ooh, now that guy is going to be, yeah, and then your next major level will be 104. You have the value area high of your previous upper range in confluence with, or not, POC of your previous range in confluence with that macro log golden pocket. And your, 786 is up there as well. God, I know this looks messy as crap. It does look pretty good. I'm concerned about that wick. That guy right there is very concerning to me. I would at least be looking for continuation up to like that 31 to 32 cent area. And if you do start to kind of top out up here and form that range, watch out for that because your liquidity did get grabbed. And support is going to be right around that area, that point of control at 23 cents. You have your lower band of the pitchfork right in there. Okay, let's see. Now we got to go through. We did Chainlink already. We'll go through GRT, but I got to go through Aave and Tau. Well, Aave's breaking above our resistance box, which is very interesting. We're breaking even above the 1.618. And really, our wave 3 pushed up. Let's see. That's probably close to the 2 fib. Yeah, right up into that 2 fib area, which was also where your purple box is. That's your golden pocket right there. We did see a sort of liquidity grab and a drop here, let me get rid of some of this stuff. You had your daily level up here, you had your golden pocket up here, and the liquidity grab up here. You got a little bit of a drop from that, but look at this push up over today, really. Pushing up to our next resistance box, which is this guy right up here. Naked monthly point of control in confluence with your weekly. This daily we can delete because it's been tapped. And you're breaking, most importantly, above the pitchfork midline. Look at these rejections at the pitchfork midline. Boom. Now you're breaking above it. So I would expect continuation here. But this does look like it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could end the impulse there. And then at the very least, I'd be watching for a back test of that midline. Now, if that midline holds, you are probably going to come take out these highs here. At least come take out these highs. Potentially come up much, much higher. But 321 to 324 is looking, watch that area. Let's look at our lower time frames. Okay, no real bear divs here. I mean, all of this, we were seeing bear divs build through all of this here. And we now are continuing that build of bear divs. Oh, hold on. Let me get this thing off. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart. And you can see here, we're continuing that build of bear divs. So higher highs through all of this, lower highs through all of this, and money flow. Now it's attempting to cross back into the green, but watch for another lower hump here into that weekly and naked monthly point of control. And that could give you, it would maybe just be a deviation above that midline. And then if you lose it, that's when you could really start to drop. If we reject from this purple box and then lose the midline, I would expect to come take out these lows. But if that's the end of your wave 5, let's just say this, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and it's ending after the impulse finishes, you can take your fib from the low of the impulse to the high, and I'm just going to throw it right in the middle of that purple box. Be looking at your local golden pocket. Let's take that off log scale. Yeah, so that guy right up in here. And let's Yeah, okay, so this is your range too. And you can see we came up to the value area high into the pitchfork midline. We saw a small rejection, but then now we're breaking out. So the one thing that we really need to watch for is the deviation of this, the breakout of this volume profile. If we come up here, reject, and then fall back underneath the midline and the value area high, we are probably going to see a drop to that golden pocket area. But if we can break above that, like, man, this could get really bullish. We could see a break above that, grab that liquidity right up here, all these semi-equal highs, and then back test that in continuation. Like, it looks pretty good to me. I mean, the 4 hour looks very bullish. Money flow. We did print hidden bull div signal a couple days ago over the weekend. And let's go back out onto the daily time frame. Daily time frame. All right, this is where it gets a little bit on higher time frames. 3 potential higher highs. Right now we have 2 higher highs here, lower highs here. Money flow has been draining out of the asset. So remember this, as money flow has been draining out of the asset, as we've kind of been starting to see some exhaustion towards the end of this bigger daily push up, right? You have very strong push up. Now we're starting to exhaust in here. And you want to watch for that exhaustion because money flow is leaving on the daily time frame. So let's actually pull a channel and get rid of these. And guys, if ETH keeps pumping, or if ETH, yes, please hit the like button, guys. If you guys get anything out of these videos, you learn anything, please hit the like button. ETH is going. ETH is going. Okay, cool. Let's hide this for a second, and let's pull our channel from our 2 highs down to that low. Yeah, it's somewhat respected. I 350 here. Let's see. You do have another daily level up here at 332. No, we don't. Sorry, that's been tapped. That is not. Yeah, this thing is probably going to continue pushing up here. Next major level is going to be that daily at 370. But I mean, I'd be watching this 321 to 324 area right above us. The only reason is this money flow coming out like this and continuing to build these bear divs. I'm just a little bit worried about a fake out and then a fall back inside your range and a fall back inside underneath your uh, pitchfork midline. That's a very nice daily bullish engulfing candle. Very locally, break above the midline, back test the midline. So I have a high, now we have a high probability of at least coming up here 321 to 324. Very, very high probability. We are starting to potentially build those bear or see bear divs though. If we come up here, higher highs, lower highs, money flow looks pretty good. Bear divs here, money flows leaving on Nami. Okay, let's do now. What was the other one? Okay, this is not my chart. Go. Tau is in this range on the daily time frame. This is our range that we're in. You can see we bounced from the weekly level, breaking back inside the volume profile, but we flipped that midline today to support. Actually, someone asked about this in the Telegram earlier today. We flipped the midline of the pitchfork to support. Midline, I think we're going to continue up to this weekly at 429. Oh, Abir asked about this. Abir asked about this. Yeah, so 429, we have our weekly level up there. We have a point of control, and we have our 786. So it's high likelihood that we do continue pushing up to that level right up there. There is going to be this order block in here, this 4-hour order block coming up. And you could see an SFP of the highs into that order block. So you have your 399 highs. Watch for an SFP into this order block around 400 to 408. But money flow looks very bullish on the 4-hour. It looks like it wants to continue here. Let's do 12-hour. Yeah. I don't like that. That's on the verge. So we'll leave this golden pocket the way it is. Your golden pocket's also going to be right around that order block, that 4-hour order block. But look at this nice, like, topping head or left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or a little bit of a distribution in here. You distributed down. You made a higher low overall. So now can we expect a higher high? Breaking above the value area high of the range. For me, the next major level is going to be that 429 to 432 area. Break above this, you're coming for the value area high. You do have, let's zoom out to the daily. Yeah, you have a daily level up there as well, right at that value area high, pretty much. So that would be the next area. The zones to look at for me, this guy and then that guy right there. But you break above this value area high, I expect continuation to the top of the pitchfork band, 529, 530-ish. Taking out all of these semi-equal highs. Look at all of these semi-equal highs in here. High, 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 high. Yes, we did grab liquidity with this of all of that, but not by much. Guess it was probably enough to, it was obviously enough to see a pretty big drop. So, all right. Yeah, for Tau, I mean, 430, expect continuation very, very locally. Watch for that SFP into that order block. This area here on the 4 hour, there's an order block in there. Red, a little bit of green, more red here. Order block into your golden pocket. But this bounce, flipping the midline. Look at, we came up to the midline. We rejected the midline. Made a higher low, broke above the midline, back tested the midline. I expect continuation. Looks pretty good. Okay, GRT. I don't know if I've done GRT in a long time. Not that one. GRT. Wow, have I not done GRT? Okay, well. Actually, this looks pretty nice on the weekly. Little bit of accumulation range forming in here, but it does look like it could continue a little bit longer. So be aware of that. And we did not see bull divs. You wanted to really see a lower low here. That would have been nice to see. Because money flows curving to the upside on the weekly. We did just print a weekly green dot on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. Let's mark out that weekly above us. And then really it's going to be coming all the way up to this guy up here. Much bigger weekly range I would pull is this. You're right around the POC of the range, bouncing from the value area low a couple times. So do we work our way all the way up to the value area high of the range? Let's pull a volume profile. And let's put that on log scale. Yeah, that's, I mean, that macro value area high, golden pocket area at 18 to 19 cents. Major target right there. Because that's your big weekly accumulation range. If we're looking at like this huge drop down, and now you started to find some exhaustion down here. So very locally, you're at exhaustion at the bottom. But even more locally, you're at exhaustion, like generally in this area. A little bit of deviation here, a little bit of deviation here. So even a move up to 19 cents, 18, 19 cents is not unheard of at all. Like at all. Money flow on the daily looks pretty good. Now, we did just print a hidden bear div on the weekend, so be aware of that. It looks like we were trying to get above the POC and we wicked down, but this is our big weekly range. So let's hide this for now and let's look at our more local range. Let's pull our volume profile of this daily range. Okay. Same POC. We're attempting to hold above that POC. Looks like we're going to hold above it. And what I would look at now on the daily time frame, you do have a daily level coming in around the value area high. And this looks like a very nice, though, 3-wave corrective move, higher low. So are we going to see a higher high? Let's pull a fib. Yeah, we front ran that golden pocket. Actually, let's make sure. Let's turn this off log. Okay, you're bouncing from the golden pocket. So bouncing from your golden pocket is where you expect to see if this is going to be like a big wave one, wave two, three, pushing up, breaking even these highs. That golden pocket's a good bounce area. So we want to break out of this volume profile though. This is our accumulation range right now. So we need to break this sucker. Let's look at our 2-day. 2-day looks pretty good. Money flow, yeah. Money flow's coming out on the 2-day here, and it looks like it's attempting to roll over a bit or go flat. The thing is, guys, it does not necessarily look like this is done. This doesn't look like very much accumulation. I would want to see this continue a little bit longer for accumulation. But as far as like local stuff, you could pull, that local golden pocket coming in at the value area high in your daily. That's going to be an area you want to watch for. We have these lower highs coming in. It looks like we're going to attempt to take that liquidity out today. Let's get rid of this guy. Yeah, wow. No naked weeklies. Let's go for a naked monthlies. Ooh, that's going to be important. Naked monthly right above that liquidity. See this liquidity up here into that naked monthly? That little accumulation in here or distribution before continuing, little range. Okay, so couple things to look at here very locally. Golden pocket, your golden pocket move, retrace move is at the value area high of your accumulation range, your daily accumulation range. So that's definitely going to be an area. But right above that, you can see we have a naked daily point of control right on top of our fresh daily level. So this general area is going to be pretty tough for GRT to get through. Where's that naked daily? So yeah, I would be looking between 10 to 10.8 and then really like 11 cents, 10 and 11 cents, this general area here. Let's see where our 786 is at. It's much higher. Okay. But it does look like it could continue absolutely up to that golden pocket for 10, 10 to 10.8, 10.75 to 10.85. We hit the golden pocket here of this move up. So we cannot classify this as a 5-wave impulse. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So be aware, we can't measure our wave 5 targets. I would say, even though we're bouncing from this area, I want to watch for an SFP here now because of that tap of this golden pocket. We do need to watch for an SFP and a bigger range to form in here around this much larger POC. But if we do break up, I mean that's just your next level right up here. Internal liquidity into that area. And then if you SFP, you could just be looking at the smaller range. I mean, I would just pull a volume profile and look at this guy here. You're breaking above that value area high. You could even pull it all the way to here and look at this range. Value area high is the same on this range, but that POC is there. So once again, guys, just be aware of the SFP of our semi-equal highs into your POC because we hit this golden pocket. If you don't SFP, you're coming up to this 10.8. Okay, let's check the chat here. What's up, Curtis J? Good to see you, man. Oh, CRV. That's right. I said I would look at CRV. Now, CRV, guys, overall, it's looking bullish, and we broke out of our macro value area high. We back tested that macro value area high, and we're continuing, but it doesn't look the strongest here. So let's just hide some of this real quick. And we did come up to our resistance box that we found resistance at. I can delete that now. We saw a nice drop from that area, and that was a naked weekly point of control, which I believe now we're going to delete from the chart. Yeah, we can delete this naked weekly point of control. And that weekly level, I think that might be a fresh one. Nope. Okay, we can get rid of that guy too. You're at your weekly, and you were at your resistance. It was a naked weekly point of control in confluence with the weekly level, and that's why we saw that rejection up there. Now let's look at your next weekly, and really, this area is what I was expecting at least CRV to come up to, that 120 to 121, because if we are even seeing a bigger three-wave corrective move here in a bearish scenario, you probably come up to there, and then you'd start dropping back inside your volume profile and continuing this accumulation range. But still, you expect to move up to that weekly there. And then on the daily time frame, we're just in a range above the macro value area high. So just play this range. We really do have to watch, because we did reject yesterday or over the weekend this golden pocket. And so you see, first off, why are we concerned about that? Is because we broke market structure bearishly on the daily. Let me pull that. So I'll hide this smaller range for a second, and let's zoom in on the 4-hour chart. What we have this range. Now, what's concerning here is we had our break in market structure bearishly, right? We had our lows here. So because we broke those lows, and we wanted to see only a liquidity grab. I remember when we were trading this a couple weeks ago. But we broke those lows. Now, because we broke market structure bearishly on a daily time frame, we need to watch for a topping reversal pattern. So if we come up, reject this golden pocket, and start to lose the value area high again, that's going to be really bad. You do not want to lose like 87 cents. If you lose 87, you're in big trouble. We're just playing this range, and because we rejected that golden pocket, it's not looking the best here. It's not looking too good, but we can just continue. Let's pull that range again. Let's turn that range on. Yeah, it was also the value area high of your range. So you rejected value area high golden pocket. We're at the POC. Man, I mean, money flow looks bullish here on the 4-hour. I'm just concerned, even locally, guys, if we're looking at more lower fractals, we're breaking market structure bearishly of this uptrend here. We broke the channel down, and now are we coming back to continue here? We did hit a major resistance, being the weekly in confluence with the naked weekly point of control. And there was also a naked monthly up there as well. Okay, we're breaking our very local golden pocket, which was in confluence with the POC of the range. So that's a good sign. I would be looking to come up to that 786 at least now. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to pull out just a little bit out of this trade. I Let's see, where is it? Ethereum's really not Ethereum. See, XRP starting to kick off too. Okay, I just pulled 20% more out of that trade. Just I'm a little bit concerned about a rejection in this general area, because we've broken market structure bearishly, and on larger time frames we broke market structure bearishly. So I this range might continue for a bit. I mean, it's money flow is bullish. We saw those bear divs here, and now I'm just worried about a lower high because we created a lower low. So I'm worried about a lower high before continuing to kind of grind down again. Yeah, this guy's just range bound right now. Rejected golden pocket, bounced from golden pocket. So we're just chopping within this volume profile. Now, the next area I would look, I mean, these internal highs here, let's look and see if we have any naked daily points of control in here. No, nothing really. The SFP of these internal highs is a little bit far away from that 786, but that's the next thing I'd be looking at is a rejection from that 786. If we can break this very local 786 at $1, but because our value area high is here, we could just be continuing this range. SFP here and then continue back in the range, come down to the value area or the macro value area high again. It doesn't look too good though, as far as this bigger thing goes. Really, what would be the best to see is a model one, tap 2, and then you come up and you hit that 120 and a tap 3. Start to see that exhaustion towards the end. And then you see distribution back inside your bigger volume profile. Yeah, and we're seeing bear divs here. Higher highs, lower highs, lower highs, money flow leaving. I'd be very careful, guys, of a bit of a rejection from this area. And if we do reject it, I honestly would be looking to come take out these lows from earlier this week. We did have a nice SFP here of the Monday low on earlier today, and then we're pushing up. So it looks nice. Everything's bullish today, of course, and we're seeing nice bullish moves. So for CRV, you're going to want to close today's daily candle above this POC at pretty much right 98.6, where we're at right now. Close above 98.6, and we're probably going to come at least attempt to take out the weekend highs up into this golden pocket again. Did we actually hit that goal? Oh, you know what, guys? I just saw this right now. We have not hit that golden pocket yet. Dang, I wish I would have saw that before I pulled money out. We're probably going to come SFP these highs into the golden pocket and the value area high. We barely front ran that. But with the way this looks, I would be really worried about that SFP and then a fall back inside this volume profile and, working your way back down. So just pay attention to that 103 to 104. Okay, let me scroll up and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Sui, we did Sui already. We did Sui, we did say those were towards the beginning of the stream. Spam coin, the account was just created today. I see it all. Oh, okay. Tiamat, thank you for modding like that, man. I appreciate you. ETH, I'm gonna check ETH real quick, guys. Wow. Yeah, I mean it's attempting to break out, but be aware if we fall back in this area, I really think, look at money flow starting to roll over here. Momentum waves topped out. You will often see the end of a move where it wicks a little bit past it and gets everyone super bullish of a breakout, and then it's just gonna come right back. I would be very careful with ETH, guys. No bear divs really yet though. But money flow is starting to top out. This could be your move for the day, and I would expect some sort of range to form in this general area. Okay, ETH. Yep, got that. Oh, AVAX. We'll check AVAX. Yes, AVAX. I'm actually long on AVAX. Actually, might have taken profit on AVAX now. AVAX did come up to our box of resistance, but I saw, let's zoom out on AVAX here. Pretty much, we were chopping around in the lower band. We broke to the upper band, rejected, came down to our midline. Now, this pitchfork is not the best respected. Actually, let me check this. No, modified is the right one. So we have a daily level that's coming in right at the top of the band again. You can see that daily level at 26. That would be, if we break above this purple box of resistance right now, I would be aiming at least for 26. But we're probably going to come up higher, maybe up to the top of the pitchfork. We're at that resistance area, guys. So just be aware of that. And we did hit our local golden pocket. Oof. Okay. We can't look at this as a 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't look at that because we hit our golden pocket of our wave 3. And so because of that, we do need to watch for the SFP of these highs up into this area of resistance and another rejection for another rollback down. That naked daily point of control at 24.97 was right where our 0.65 fib, golden pocket is, and we did not actually hit those. We rejected from the 618 up here, and actually I was looking to come up here and actually tap that. So be aware of the tap of that. But we are seeing a potential SFP. I still want to come up and tap it though. But we are seeing a potential SFP. Let's go into the 15. No, not real. I mean, this many wicks here, it looks still bullish to me. A little bit bullish. I would come up just a little bit higher, please. We no longer need to look at this 1.618 because that impulse has been invalidated. Yeah, and so see how money flow has been draining out of the asset as this kind of correction is forming. Now that we've technically made a higher high, we could be producing some bear divs as well in here. Now, this momentum wave's not topped out yet, but if this momentum wave tops out, we reject from this area and it confirms more bear div while money flow's leaving out of the asset. That's not going to be good news. And I would honestly be looking, I'd be looking to come down at least to the golden pocket of this entire move. So we're at local resistance now. If we break this box, really like 25 to 25, yeah, about $25, we're going to shoot up to that $26 area pretty quickly here. 26, and then if you break 26, I would say you're going to like 28, 29, 28.5 to 29. On the daily time frame, money flow does look very bullish. Let's see how Bitcoin looks. If Bitcoin's going to reject in this area, we're probably going to see a lot of alts are close to resistance or at resistance. So If Bitcoin continues and can break out above, then I do think the alts will continue to run and break up to their next major resistance levels. It's just fighting. It's fighting. Few more hours. It's going to be really crucial to close above pretty much 120, 119.8. Money flow still looks really good. And we printed a hidden bull div yesterday on that low. Yeah, I would like, it looks like based off of the way money flow looks, we could come higher, but I'm just wary because we hit that local golden pocket. So I'm wary of a double top in this area. And I believe this naked weekly point of control is no longer valid. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Big level of resistance is up here, 34 to 35. I mean, if we break 28 to 29, we're shooting right up there. There's nothing really keeping us from coming up there. Not coming up there, excuse me. Okay, that was AVAX. Let's see here. Um, ADA. I do believe I was looking at ADA earlier today. ADA's hitting into that golden pocket, and we do have that liquidity, internal liquidity grab. Looks like so far we haven't actually grabbed it yet. But the other day, ADA had front run the golden pocket. On the weekend, you can see this weekend high here. It had front run the golden pocket. So we were a little bit wary of seeing this end into like a golden pocket liquidity grab and then it drop back down. But I'd be looking at this range, your sideways range here. You're actually above the value area high. If you can close the day above 84 cents, that's going to look good. Money flow looks really bullish. And let's pull our bigger range. Yeah, shoot above 84 cents. Now, we already rejected from this golden pocket here, but we do have a daily level at the value area high of your bigger range. So the next major level I'd be watching is right up there, like the value area high daily, 97 to 98 cents. Really 97.5 to like 99 cents. And then of course you got your big levels up here. You have a naked weekly point of control. I mean, this box. Let's do this. $120. SFP of these highs into a weekly and a naked weekly point of control. You're still technically inside of this smaller volume profile. And if we can close today above this value area high, I do expect continuation to push up to that 98-cent area. And then, of course, really up to 120, we'll see probably a small rejection from this weekly. If we do reject from this golden pocket area and fall back inside the volume profile, we might fall all the way back down to 73 cents. And let's take a golden pocket from the lows. to our current highs. It's going to be around your 786. 786 is going to be right down here, and that would be a major area I'd be looking for a potential swing long on. Yeah, you have a daily down there as well. So very strong level of support here at 72.5 to 73 cents. Value area low of your smaller range, POC of your major range, 786 of your local impulse up or your local move up, daily level. You come down here, say you do this range is not quite done yet, you do this and then you come down and reject, boom, and then you break out of this thing. Yeah, because money flows leaving the asset and those bear divs are developing. 4 hour looks healthy though. We're at resistance, guys. We'll just have to see how it reacts here. Today, if you're paying attention to ADA, you want to see a close above 80, pretty much 84 cents, 83.92 ish. Okay, we did CRV, we did AVAX, we did ADA. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys. Near, we'll go through near right now. Near is, oh man, it came down to our um, alert line, and I don't think I did what I was supposed to do there. Yeah, that is going to be your POC of your range. Let's pull that range. This bottom accumulation range in here. So we did reject the value area high, but we saw a very clear 3-wave corrective move down, which is a good thing after this bigger impulse up here. So I would honestly expect at least us to continue ranging. This is another range that we could look at. Yeah, near the value area high, the range. But because we're bouncing, let's see, where was this? Did we hit that golden pocket? Yeah. All right. That's been invalidated. We can get rid of this alert line. So we do have a daily level that's coming up here. That one's been tapped. And let's check out. Ooh. Yeah, okay. And we do need to be aware of this weekly up here because this is like kind of a breakout of that accumulation range. But if we break out and reject from that and then fall back inside of this area, this could kind of chop for a bit more. And then, of course, you have your upper range up here. You could be looking at this upper range. Let's go back to our daily. Yeah, we need to break above and close above $3, 302. If we can break above 302, watch for the fake out into 355. But if we break really that weekly, we're gonna push back up into this volume profile, and I would expect us to move all the way back up to this POC. So we can pull a fib. Yeah, right around that POC. And actually, you could pull this volume profile up to this high. So that $5, 486 to 512, really closer to 512. That's going to be a major resistance up there. And the only way I see us getting up there is if we break above this weekly and like flip this weekly to support. Oops. You could even pull this range to that area. We're above the POC of our smaller daily range though, and this is a nice daily bullish engulfing candle that we're seeing. I would expect to move at least up to this. Well, we're probably at our local golden pocket, so let's pull that. Yeah, we're at our local golden pocket, but we rejected it over the weekend. Came down, made a higher low. I think we're going to break above this golden pocket and push up towards that 786. So that 786 daily is going to be your very local resistance above us. 293 to 296 is going to be your local resistance above us. But if we do break above that, I mean, we're going to at least come take out the highs of Monday, July 20th. I would even say if you don't SFP that, then you're going to come up to the weekly. You could SFP this guy in here, but that weekly is really what you're going to be want to watch. How does it look? Money flow looks pretty good here. Now on NAMI, and remember NAMI's quicker, money flow's starting to come out again here. Yeah, and we're starting to see money flow drain out of the assets on all these. So be aware, guys, that we could be seeing some like local double tops on some of these coins, or like a high that's barely higher up into local resistance. Okay, money flow looks pretty good. We are printing bear divs on NAMI, but not on Mark. Well, yes, Market Cipher has bear divs as well. It looks like it's going to continue at least coming up to this daily. 786 daily. Oh, yeah. And if we do see an SFP of these highs, that's going to look really bad because you're going to see higher highs here. You're going to see a bunch of lower highs coming in here with money flow draining out of the asset. What that would tell me is that this accumulation range is not done, and you're going to start to roll back over and probably come down to the bottom of the range again with what we're seeing on the 8 hour. Uh, Give me just a second, guys. I got to check this out. Okay. Um, I've got about 10 minutes, guys. I got to take off in 10 minutes. So we'll do Cal real quick. I remember we looked at Cal. Now, Cal looked like it bounced from our golden pocket. We saw the SF, kind of an SFP down here, but we came down to the lower band of the pitchfork. Bounced from the lower band of the pitchfork, and now we're attempting to break above that midline. Back inside your volume profile, we rejected value area high. We came down to value area low. Now we're trying to get back above this POC. So, but you can see we front ran this upper band. I actually think that's kind of bullish that you front ran the touch of that upper band. You did touch it back in here. You rejected the upper band. You came down to the midline, rejected, came down to your lower band. So overall, yeah, and we could pull this volume profile all the way over. You've broken out of the value area high. Actually, this is pretty bullish for Cal. So look at this bigger volume profile, which could be accumulation in here, broke out of value area high, back tested it, confirmed a flip to support is what it looks like on your more macro value area high. Green dot, daily hidden bull divs on that low. It looks like we're going to continue on Cal up to this upper band. So you do have a smaller volume profile that you could be watching this volume profile, and you might like bounce around in here for a little bit. But because we flipped the macro value area high to support and money flow looks bullish here, hidden bull divs printing on NAMI, I would probably expect this to come up to actually hit that upper band now. Man, but it is setting up for some pretty big bear divs. Higher highs here. I mean, right now it's way lower highs. Bear divs through all of this, and then we could have more regional bear divs here. We also have money flow bear divs. Money flow bear divs in here. But if you come up into that upper band, be careful because you could reject that. Okay, weekly's been taken out. Yeah. There's no naked dailies above us though. We've already taken all the naked dailies above us. This is interesting. That monthly control in confluence with the naked daily. Let's throw that on the chart. So that 37.5 to 37.2, that's going to be very interesting. XRP is rejecting. Okay, I do want to. I'm in some long positions, so I don't want to. I want to take profits on some of these coins, guys. Ethereum's at resistance. CRV looks like it was at resistance, and I just want to lock in some profits for today. It was such a profitable day if you were long on some coins. AVAX hasn't quite made it. Man, I just need AVAX to come up a little bit higher here. And Chainlink as well. Okay. So very, very locally on Cow, I would just be watching this golden pocket area. It's going to be right around the value area high of your range. Actually, how big of a move is that? But because we bounced from our macro value area high here and your value area low of your lower range, I mean, very bullish. Very bullish. I'd be looking. You might chop around inside this volume profile again. You're above the pitchfork midline. So if you do come up to this upper part of the volume profile, reject it. I would watch for a back test of that midline before continuing to work your way up and SFP these highs into your upper band up here. But that what is that? 50 cent area, 52 cent area, 52, and then like 55, 52 to 55 ish. Yeah, we did ADA, we did XRP. Solana's about to reject. Yeah, we did just do ADA well, like 10 minutes ago. Come on, baby. No, I want it to come a little bit higher. I want to see 195. I think Solana could do it. It's looking like it's going to continue pushing here. So be aware. I mean, like, yes, it's when you say it's starting to reject, look at that on zoom out to the hourly. It's just a little bit of a wick down on the hourly, but you're gonna towards the end of this move, you're gonna see this start to happen, right? Remember this kind of exhaustion start to form in here. You come in here, you hit that, and then you start to reject. But overall, Solana's looking very bullish by breaking above the macro value area high. If Solana closes today above 189, you watch out because yeah, we might get some small rejections, but this thing's probably going to shoot up to 232. Like Solana is primed to start shooting up here. Um, closing above. Actually, it's like 188.3 ish. You close above that, you could see another failed auction type thing like we saw in here. Failed auction, and then you drop back down inside of it. But because we already had one just recently, this time you're probably going to continue breaking. So at the next take profit for me would be this SFP into the 1.618, just based off this being a 5-wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your 5th wave target is supposed to end right there. Now, after that's done, I would only be looking for a pullback to backtest that macro value area high. And then I would want to take out these guys. And then I would want to, up into 216. We have that daily level at 216. But then I'd really be looking to come up to like that 232 to 235 area, 232 to 239 area. Naked weeklies at 235. And then you have your monthly up there. Solana's looking good though. This bounce right here, like so perfect. You asked about Jazz. No, we didn't do Jasmy. I can look at Jasmy. And then after Jasmy, I'm gonna check Bitcoin and Solana, and then not Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then get going, guys. Ooh, which one did I do it on? I know we just did Jasmy recently here. Okay, so Jasmy, very, very locally, we have this daily range. This is our small daily range. I know there's a lot on this chart, but bear with me here. So this is our small daily range here in Jasmy, and you can see we're at the value area high of that range right now. Let's pull that volume profile. We're at the value area high, and we did reject today from our weekly level in our 786. That was the next level we were looking at, really, is that 786 in the weekly. We tapped from that and we're rejecting. So here's what's very, very important about Jasmy. If we close this daily candle back inside this volume profile, like where we're at now or below it, it's going to look pretty bearish for Jasmy because in this daily, let's see, we can get rid of that daily. We shot right through it. Look at that. No reaction from that daily. But this 786 and weekly here, you come up here, you reject from it, and then you fall back inside your volume profile. You close back with inside it. We might see a drop to the POC again. And the POC is in confluence with the lower pitchfork band. So be aware you rejected from your local resistance. Now you break above this 786, or even if you close in this general area, let's zoom in now. If you close in this general area, I would expect continuation above the weekly, continuation above the 786, but actually, yeah, pulling that volume profile now, that does not look good. You came up to your 786, your weekly, you're rejecting, and you're rejecting from the value area high. Very not too good looking, honestly. Right there. Uh bounce from the box of support. So that box of support we laid out last time looks like it worked. We'll get rid of that now. And we have our much, much bigger volume profile where we're back inside the value area low of our much bigger profile. So let's zoom out to the 12-hour. This is your upper range that goes all the way back to March of 2024. So you can see this white line here. That's your value area low. We're back inside our value area low and we bounce from the lower part of the band. Okay, so there is now potential that we're going to trade back inside this volume profile and come up to the point of control of the range. We had front run the point of control last month when we came up there. But if we reject this weekly today and the 786, because we broke local market structure here bearishly, lower low, lower high, lower low. We could be coming up for like another lower high before dropping back down and at least SFPing this low into your value area low. You wouldn't want to lose. You really don't want to lose this 15-cent 15.36 again. You want to stay back inside the bigger volume profile. But if we do lose it, I mean, you could even come back down to this weekly down here at 12. This volume profile is very, very important. You can see the value area high actually shifted. So it is the rejection area. We're at resistance. If you're long on Jasmy, you should be looking to take some profit at that weekly, that 786, and that value area high. Obviously, we were already started rejecting from it, but that was the area to look to take some resistance. Now, if we come back down, I'm going to be looking at that point of control and that lower pitchfork band around 16.8, 16.8 to 16.7. Ooh, yeah. And we could even pull. You're at your value area high of your bigger daily range, but you're very local range here. You're above the value area high, so it is losing this. What is this? 1785 ish. That's right where your VWAP is. And remember, VWAP often acts as support in a trending day. So if you come down here and you bounce from VWAP and bounce from this value area high, I would look for a break of that volume profile coming up not only to your daily at 20 cents, but I would be looking really to come up to this point of control at 21 cents. The SFP of these semi equal highs into your point of control. And it looks like you have another high right up there as well. So, like this general area. Okay, let's check Bitcoin. Yeah, guys, Bitcoin's trying. It's really trying, but it's not looking too hot here. I mean, you would have expected it needs to hold right now and like continue. If we start to break back down here and lose the VWAP, especially, it's not going to look good for Bitcoin. I'll probably pull some more. I mean, I guess I won't because I'm long from 112,740 or something like that. And Ethereum is starting to find that resistance up in this general area. If Ethereum starts to close back inside like 4570 and we close the daily, oftentimes on these bigger moves, you do wick past it. You know, what we would see is if this thing does close back underneath 4570, it's just going to look like a big wick on the daily, a peak above it, but then you would expect kind of some rangy in here and maybe that drop to occur. So just be aware of that. Like we are at resistance on Ethereum. There is a reason why I had a limit TP there and I didn't care what Ethereum did. It was a definite take profit for me. Yes, please smash the like, guys. I do have a few sponsors of the channel. So BYDFI is the main sponsor of the channel. They are a VPN free and KYC free exchange. They partnered with me where if you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus. And then you can get other various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit. But also, guys, they have a tier system where the more you deposit, the bigger discounts on your fees get. And I believe you can get up to 40% discounts on fees if you deposit like 20K or more. So if you're interested, they're really nice, clean exchange. Also, I have a deal with them where I've created my own Telegram group where I do post some of my setups and some of the trades. If you're interested in joining the Telegram group, all you have to do is sign up using my affiliate link, deposit $100. You'll get 17% discounts on trading fees. You get the 50% bonus, and then you can get access to the Telegram group. That is in the description. And once you get in there, you just have to type in /verify and your user ID, and it will automatically put you into that Telegram group. Second, we have NAMI. NAMI is the momentum and money flow indicator down here. Very good indicator for entries and exit confirmations on trades. Like, I love it, especially in confluence with Market Cipher B. It's been helping me tremendously. They are running a 50% off special. So if you're interested in NAMI, I suggest you get it while that special's still running. And the link is in the description, and the discount code Divine50 is in the description as well. Third, we have MEXC, and then fourth, Bybit. So both exchanges, both reputable, good exchanges, low fees. The link in the description for those exchanges is down below. For me, I do trade on MEXC. You do have to KYC on MEXC, and then on Bybit, I do think Bybit's one of the most reputable exchanges in the world, especially after they survived that $2.5 billion hack. The only reason I'm not trading on them is because it's restricted. But if I could recommend a trader that was in an area where they were allowed, I would recommend Bybit just because of the liquidity and how nice that and big that exchange is. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. I will be live again Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mark Dutch, so much. Thank you, Tiamat. You guys, mods are great. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys all for your